So in study 4, we tried to look at reciprocal relations between students' academic functioning and parental involvement, assuming that even we found those differences between parents and families. And then the question is, so have they always been this different, or what makes them so different? And we wanted to see how much students or their children themselves kind of have an impact on parents, the way parents help. And so we had quite a long time frame this time. So we looked at a time frame from grade 5 to grade 7 in a sample of about 3,000 students. We again had the 3 measures of parental involvement. We had, again, reading achievement in a standardized test, reading effort, and then also homework procrastination to have a broader set of outcomes. And then we conducted structural equation modeling as in the other, the first 2 studies, and then for the reciprocal relationship conducted cross-leg models to see if we find those associations. But I'm going to be starting with actually cross-sectional analyses. So to see whether, so these are all results from grade 5. So trying to predict how the level of responsiveness in parents' involvement. So we control for socioeconomic background, school track, and sex. And we wanted to see how students' kind of achievement and students' learning behavior affected parents' involvement. And we actually did find that the higher the students' test scores in the standardized reading achievement test, the more responsive parents were. We did not find any associations between responsiveness and reading grade. And we also found that the more effort students put into or showed in reading, the more responsive parents were, and the more they procrastinated their homework, the fewer responsive parents were. And so this was actually in similar ways. I mean, here reading achievement and homework procrastination are the kind of more important predictors for control. So the other way around, the more, the better the reading achievement, the fewer control, and the more procrastination, the more control. Makes sense? And actually for structure, there was only an association with reading effort. So the more reading effort students showed, the more structure parents provided. And so these are all cross-sectional associations that kind of indicate that there might be some reciprocal relations going on. So we then kind of tested this in a cross-leg model across 3 school years. So you can see the variables on the left are from grade 5, and then the exact same variables were tested 3, or well, it's always the beginning and the end of the school year, so it's actually 3 school years. And then, without going into detail for the paths, you can see that there are indeed these reciprocal relations, and only statistically significant associations are shown here. And so, yeah, you can see that it's not the case that parents have a fixed behavior that they will just apply or show, that actually the way students are will also influence parents. And you can imagine that this is kind of like a back and forth going process throughout children's development throughout school.
Are these all significant?
Yes, these are all statistically significant. Yes, exactly. Yeah, because it would have been, the picture would have been too crowded. I mean, talking about diagrams, or if I had included all the other paths. So in a way, we were lucky that not more paths were significant, then it would have been very messy. Yeah, or I would have presented them in a table.